Be Inspired TV. Everything in life can be taught, and it's possible that you can be at the level you aspire to be in life. Join your host, Pastors Lenny and Nancy as they take us through inspired life success tips.
So do you encourage people to go the route that you went to get to know somebody, then later on it develops into something that is tangible? What if during those 2 years you discover that, yes, you like each other, you are friends and all? What if you discover that it's not actually the things that you have been expecting and you are already friends? Do you stop seeing each other or what do you do? Since we don't encourage people to be friends of opposite sex while you're still young, what do you do?
That's a tricky question. Mm-hmm. But, something happens when you meet the person or the right one. I mean, there is this power, this force, something from within that really connects you. Mm-hmm. So when you start seeing each other, even if you're doing it as friends, mm-hmm. there's a point whereby you can actually tell that this is not what I'm looking for. Sometimes we try to force it. Maybe we've been friends for so long, maybe we know each other, maybe because of this, mm-hmm. we try to force it to make it work. It doesn't work. If you see it's not happening, it's not there, I think it's best that you part ways, because trying to raise the dead might actually cause more problems.
All right. Wow. Pastor Mrs. Rwodzi, looking at how young your marriage is, yes, it's 7 years, it's a long time, but you're still young. And there are some people who are maybe 70, 80 years in marriage, and you are 7 years. During your 7 years, is there anything that you say, this was not really a good thing in our marriage, or something that you have learned while your marriage is growing? Is there anything that you can say to the people, this was a turning point, or this was not good, or this was good as you're growing up in your marriage?
Okay. Growing up, I was a very impatient person, and during this time of marriage, I've learned to be patient. That process, the things that I went through, the situations, the babies, the whatever that was coming in our marriage was trying to squeeze something out of me. Mm-hmm. I take it like that. So this marriage and the 7 years that we had in marriage, I take it as a lesson, as a test for something that was inside of me. It was waiting for me maybe to get into marriage, then it comes out. Mm-hmm. So I believe the test that we had during this seven years that we are in marriage together, it has taught me patience. It has taught me, it has given me a big heart to accommodate whoever is from the outside or from the inside. So all that, I wasn't going to get it if I wasn't in this marriage. Mm-hmm. But because I am in it, I'm getting something. I'm being changed to a new person. I'm being changed to a different person, the person I was when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. So I think in marriage, some people, they get into marriage like me. They learn. They get into marriages to learn. Some, they get into marriages for different reasons. But I take it from whatever the situation that came along, whatever hardship that came along, whatever thing that came negatively along in our marriage, I took it as a lesson, and I saw something positive in whatever that was coming our way. Mm.
Wow, Pastor Nancy, you've been quiet for long. You being pastors, and we are also, a young couple. We are still growing together. This is our 8th year in marriage also, and we are blessed with beautiful kids. And what do you think might be the reason why we are going on and on and on and on, and we are still yearning for more years in marriage?
I think firstly, it's the reasons that drove you to be with the person that you are with in the first place. Because honestly speaking, from my experience, marriage takes a lot from a person, and it teaches you a lot. Mm-hmm. So in the long run, you're bound to give up. You're bound to throw in the towel, and it's entirely up to you to hold on or to, give up. So I think it's the reason why you are in this, that reminds you that at the end of the day, you know what, I'm here to stay. I'm here to be with this person, no matter what. It's a matter of choice. You have to tell yourself, you have to convince yourself that I'm here to stay.
Wow. So you get to know, you have to have an idea before you get into something that, do I really want this?
Yeah.
And if you want this, no matter what comes your way, you're supposed to endure, you're supposed to find a way, while at least you're still in there. So it is love that actually builds everything together. So no matter the changes, no matter what's coming your way, as long as you love each other and you've pledged both of you to love each other, I think nothing can stop you from going many years in marriage. Pastor Rwodzi, this is interesting. It's actually inspiring me to have you on this program, because I have seen you growing up. I've seen you guys loving each other from boy, girl. Now you've got kids at home, and also you've got also kids that God has given you. How do you balance, your children, your family, the Rwodzi family, the physical Rwodzi family, and the spiritual Rwodzi family? Because I understand it's a demanding job to have kids. How do you balance the church and the family without affecting your marriage and your happiness at home?
That's interesting. I think the process teaches you. Ministry grows you. Ministry, what can I say? Ministry will really show you the way. It's not easy, because when you are leading people are coming from different backgrounds. People have been raised differently, and they are coming into one place to become one big family. And people understand differently when you're ministering to them. So I think it takes the grace of God, number one. And number two, you have got to love no matter what. You've got to love no matter what. You've got to learn to love people, no matter what they say. Because even the Bible says that if they hated Jesus, how about you? So people that you love might actually turn against you, might betray you, and you still have to love them. Now, it's different when you have kids at home, like my kids. I am their hero. They love me no matter what. They are proud of me no matter what. They compare me to everyone and see me as the best dad.
Yeah.
So it's easy to love them. How much they depend on us. So you have got to know where the difference is, and at the same time balance the love, because this is not just ministry for me. This is my life as well.
Wow.
So to me, loving people, loving these people is actually part of the calling. It's actually part of my life. So I have to balance them. My wife is in ministry as well. We talk about it. How do we handle this? So I've got a partner that helps me deal with these issues, you see. So it's easy when you have someone who understands what's happening, when you have someone who is involved with you. So sometimes we talk, we go through different challenges and all, but then we sit down and talk. Sometimes we just choose to laugh about it. We laugh about some of the issues that we go through. We just turn them into jokes. We laugh them out and we continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I just ask something? Now that we're talking about children, how do you handle this as a couple and as partners, like you said? Your spouse comes in and says, "Hey, babes, I've got something to tell you. I've had this child before we got married, and I think it's time that this child comes and stays with us to be part of this family." How do you handle that?
Telling me for the first time
Yeah.
after so
10
many
years.
years. I think it takes a great deal of maturity to handle such a situation, because in most cases people will make decisions not for themselves but for people.
Yeah.
Because when such an issue comes up, you start to think, what are people going to say? What is my mother going to say? Hey, kwanza zangu ko ningwangu, wachatichi, things like that. So you don't really make a decision for you. You make decision for people.
Oh, wow.
Because after so many years living with a person, I'm sure it's long enough for you to know if this person is changed or if this person is the right one for me. You see, so after 10 years, you can always weigh the options. Should I walk away? You might lose a good person. I mean, after going through so much for 10 years, you know, you can weigh the options. Sometimes walking away is not always the solution, because you might walk away, you now have your own kids, you have to introduce them to the next person. You don't know how they are going to take it. You don't know how you're going to say it. You might as well keep it a secret. I was never married until you get married to the next person, then you have problems again. So I think we have to be mature about it and really sit down, see, is this the right person? Okay, why did you keep it from me for so long? I think that will give you the idea, were you keeping this person from me for personal reasons, or it was for us? You see, sometimes people will make that sacrifice of keeping a secret just for the both of you. And then at the same time now, when you look at your wife or your husband, you can actually tell, you know, should I continue, in the sense that it crushes trust as well. You know, it will crush your trust. Okay, so if you have been keeping this secret from me for such a long time, what else are you keeping from me? Have you been seeing the father or the mother? You know, you start to have all those questions. So how have you been communicating? How have you been, you know, seeing the kid and the father or the mother seeing the kid? So you develop so many questions, and then it will take time for you to trust again. But it takes a great deal of maturity. That's what I see. And be sober when you're handling such issues.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting, because we as pastors, we have people coming in with this kind of situation, and sometimes you wonder how best can you solve this. But the bottom line is, if you love someone, you can learn to forgive. And also forgetting, yes, it takes time, but you are, you know, as a child of God, you should learn also to forget. But the encouragement that I can give, especially on these issues, is me as a man. I think I'm also saying it in front of my wife. I think it's one of your strength that you're going to be using on me. As a man, the first week of relationship is I'll be vulnerable. So if you are dating, the first week of your dating, you should expose all the secrets. And that time, you know, the way you'll be looking at someone, love will still be boiling, you know, all the energy will still be there. So this is the best time to express whatever you think this might hate in the future. So don't hold on to things, you know, until when I start to see the other negative side of you. You get what I'm saying? So when you are dating someone, the first week, you should expose everything. Everything must be out. So that when as time goes on, you know.
So that's a dating tip.
That's a dating tip. Those people who are just starting to date, the first week, everyone will be vulnerable. Love will still be boiling. The beauty is still there. You are not seeing the negatives of someone. You get what I'm saying? So bottom line is, don't keep secrets. Make sure everything you air it out, so that people will make decisions. And sometimes the things that you are afraid to release, your other spouse or your other friend might not even consider those things. But people hide the things in fear, to say, if I expose that I've got a child somewhere, maybe he might not marry me. But the thing is, when he looked at you, when he said, I love you, he didn't even see a child besides you. He's seeing you as you are. So be proud of yourself, you know. So I think it's a very good observation that you have given.
The Lord expects us to be creative, innovative, and empowering. To achieve this, join Pastor Lenny on the next episode of Be Inspired as he gives us some more life success tips. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Be Inspired. I hope you have been inspired by today's program, and I also hope you will put to act and practice everything that we have discussed today. Let's meet again next time as Pastor Lenny gives us more success tips.